Hey everybody, it's race preview time. I'm Stephen Levine from NASCAR Illustrated. This is Tom Vandervoort from Sporting News. It is the first race of the chase, baby. Chicagoland Speedway. Not in Chicago, by the way.
It's in Joliet.
It's on Joliet, just
it's about
like
60 miles outside of Chicago.
Jake and Elwood territory.
Very interesting. It's a fast racetrack.
It is a fast racetrack.
Downforce racetrack. I mean, in a way, half the chase is on downforce tracks. Obviously, each track has its own characteristic, but to start the chase on a downforce track, I actually kind of like it. We, of course, used to start at New Hampshire, but I like starting it on a downforce track. I think you do get a feel for the guys that are going to be good on the downforce tracks, and that is the big key to this chase. You have to look very closely at Jimmie Johnson bouncing back from some of these tough finishes. I'm thinking he'll be just fine.
I think Jimmie Johnson will be fine in the chase. Who knows what those guys were up to. Richmond, of course, he started in the back. They may have been trying a little something here in some of those other races.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about Jimmie Johnson.
No.
Now, he's never won at Chicago, which is interesting, but he has run very well here. We'll talk about drivers a little bit later. Let's talk about keys to this track. It is a downforce track. You want to be out front. You want to be in clean air, because you don't want to deal with that dreaded aero push.
Right, and the thing is, I think you look early in the race here, and if you have a good race car and you start mid-pack, you probably got enough time to get to the front. The key, track position really kicks in when all the good cars have made their way to the front. Then those little aero differences can really be significant. So I think you've got to figure out a way. If you want to win this race, you really want to be first out of the pits on the final pit stop, and then the restart then becomes critical. Picking the right line, hitting your marks, don't spin the tires, all that stuff, because the restarts late in the race, I think, are going to be a big key to this thing.
Exactly, and we've already seen them be a key to several races in recent memory, and jumping restarts, not jumping restarts, that's another issue NASCAR is going to have to address.
I think that's right. I mean, the restarts have become so critical in this sport now. I mean, ever since we went to the double file restart, and plus, as you say, with the track position, those are the moments that can really decide races and hence championships.
So look for some pit strategy for guys who want to get out front in some of those late restarts, some two-tire stops, maybe even some gas-only stops late in the race.
I mean, fuel mileage it's not crazy to think about that right now either.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back, literally in the blink of an eye, with Miss Sprint Cup to talk drivers. And we are back with Jacqueline Roney, Miss Sprint Cup. Look, with everything that went down at Richmond,
what are you talking about?
The kerfuffle at Richmond. Clint Boyer might have screwed Ryan Newman and Jeff Gordon, but he also screwed me with his unintentional spin because I had picked him.
His arm was itchy. How many times we got to tell you?
I had picked Clint
All right.
Boyer.
I just want to know who's in the lead right now.
Okay. Miss Sprint Cup is in the lead.
I'm sorry, what?
Miss Sprint Cup is in the lead. But you benefited because you picked Martin Truex Jr.
I know, and that was my heart pick last week.
That's right. So now you are in the lead.
But ironically, he got the shaft in the end. So
you're in the lead with 49 points. Tom picked Kyle Busch, 48 points.
I don't understand, Kyle.
I am 44 measly freaking points in third place. I was in the lead like last month.
You have 10 races
to
make it up.
Coming now.
Dude. Oh, speaking of the chase, we have to pick our championship driver, and then whoever is the highest finishing driver each week will get the chance to steal somebody else's.
So the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup kicking off.
Who do you have?
Are we revealing it?
No, let's wait.
Okay.
Come on, we got to get to our race picks.
Jimmy, please.
We got to get to our race
Don't
picks.
cheat.
Oh, you cheated. You totally cheated.
I got my friend. Guy I'm going to pick every week.
All right, I got Ryan Newman, which actually, coincidentally enough, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So who'd you get? I got Clint Boyer.
Now there is poetic justice for you. There is poetic justice.
I'm good, and I'm going to refer.
All right. So the way this deal
and you
works
got Kyle Busch.
This is our pick for the championship.
Yes.
However,
whoever
wins the race pick can trade this driver in for somebody else if he or she so desires.
Including stealing somebody else's.
Including stealing someone else's if he or she so desires.
All right, let's get to our race picks. Going to Chicagoland Speedway. All right, Jacqueline, you're in the lead, but we're still going to let you have first pick because we're just gentlemen.
Oh, you're so kind. Okay, my pick this week is Matt Kenseth, 5 wins. He is currently leading the Sprint Cup Series points, and he doesn't have a win at Chicago. But he's on fire.
Runs there.
Yes, he's on fire, so he can get it done.
Well, I remember one race he was in that USF and G sheetrock, whatever the heck.
USF and G.
I don't even know.
USF and G. I don't think that was it, but please go ahead.
I may be screwing the sponsor up. USG sheetrock, wasn't that it?
That was close.
Remember, he almost won that race?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
who's your pick,
I'm doubling down.
Mr. Memory Lane?
I
2
am
weeks in a row?
doubling down. I know
Really?
Kyle screwed me last week with his lousy performance in Richmond, but I believe this is Kyle's year.
Well, he has won this race. He won it from the pole in
I am wearing my
2008.
M&M pajamas tonight, and I am picking Kyle.
Oh, that's serious.
And
If he's pulling
they have
out.
feet in them, too. Dr. Denton.
I had to cut the feet off because I got a bee in there one time.
Well, if you guys are leaving Jimmy Johnson on the table, I'm certainly going to take him. I know he's never won
Oh,
here.
that guy never finishes in the top 20.
He's had like 4 finishes worse than 28th.
But
In a
he's-
row.
but
In
he's
a row.
Look, but his finishing average, I wrote it down because I was like, what? 9.3 finishing average here, even though he's never won a race. It's just a matter of time. This is a racetrack where he should be able to put together a victory.
All right, if you wanna pick
I'm gonna
Jimmy,
take Jimmy.
go
I
ahead.
think it's chase time. Nobody gets it done during the chase like Jimmy and Chad.
All right,
It's a good pick. No one's going to argue with that.
Jimmy, Kyle,
Matt.
Matt.
You always forget.
Thank you. I
always forget
I
forget.
had to question myself briefly.
I forget
Nobody took
one of
I
the
think
three.
Casey Kane would have been a nice pick here, too. The other guy I was thinking about.
Possibly.
You should have taken him then.
Well, we'll see.
All right, we're going to come back next week. We'll reveal how we all did. Hopefully, I will regain some of my stature.
I don't think the
Nope.
rest of us, no one's really hoping that except for you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. I appreciate the support.